down closers. Ameriprise Chief Market Strategist David Joy manages $610 billion, and BMO Core Plus Bond Fund Portfolio Manager Scott Kimball manages $270 billion. You guys both join us now. All right, David, to you first. There's no volatility this week. How do you invest around that?
Well, I think you kind of take a wait-and-see approach, quite frankly. We still don't know what the government is going to look like. We have a pretty good idea, and so you can make some judgments about how you want to position. But things could still change, and so I wouldn't rush to judgment. But I would say this. I think the chances are probably a little more likely that now that we'll get a stimulus package. That's good news. I think the market likes that and is reflecting that a little bit. Also, I think maybe we'll see some rotation that's sustainable back to the growth parts of the market. Technology, once again, leadership where it wasn't over the last couple of months. But I'd still take a wait-and-see approach, see if you need to do anything dramatic.
Yeah, some of the sexiest tech names out there do not even pay a dividend. So that turns to the question of yield when it comes to corporate bonds, and that's your space, Scott. Talk to me about what bonds you like right now as far as some of these corporates are concerned.
Yeah, yield-seeking investors have been really put in a tough spot. Really, if you go back really the last decade and a half as interest rates have continued to decline. What we do, particularly with our Core Plus Bond Fund, is we look for areas where we look at a balance sheet of a company and we look for opportunities to invest in a company where we can get a little bit of excess yield or what we call credit spread relative to what the market's opinion is about the company. So in this case, we look around and we say whenever there's an election cycle, whenever there's a new cycle involving healthcare legislation, potential for that, we usually see some pretty big disruptions in the healthcare space, particularly in pharmaceuticals. So we found some nice opportunities in companies like Mylan Labs. They have some longer dated investment grade paper that has a nice coupon attached to it, as well as companies like Biogen. Recently, we saw some headlines with Biogen where they lost a multiple sclerosis drug, but on the other side, they recently picked up some positive FDA news regarding an Alzheimer's drug. So our job is to look for opportunities and pockets where we can step into some of those names and find some yield.
David, what are the implications if the numbers continue the way they are and Joe Biden wins? You have a divided government, of course, as you referenced, but what else? No taxes, at least hikes?
Yeah, exactly. Assuming that the Georgia Senate races break as expected for the Republicans and we have a divided government, I think the market likes that so-called gridlock. And so no major changes. You won't see. You won't see big changes.
I think we lost it. Okay. All right, we were losing those shots. Our apologies, but Scott and David, thank you so much. The big jobs report for October is tomorrow.